In the swirling storm of NBA offseason shocks, few moves rattled the basketball world like the Dallas Mavericks' blockbuster trade, sending Luka Dončić, arguably the crown jewel of their franchise, to the Los Angeles Lakers in exchange for Anthony Davis. The deal stunned fans, analysts, and insiders alike, sparking outrage and disbelief in Dallas and beyond. Yet, amid the noise and fury, one voice stood out, with a gesture more symbolic than loud but impossible to ignore. Hall of Fame coach Don Nelson. Nelson, a Dallas Mavericks coaching legend who helmed the team for 8 seasons and remains deeply woven into the fabric of the franchise, took his protest to the 2025 NBA Finals stage in a subtle but powerful way. At the press conference where he was honored with the prestigious Chuck Daly Lifetime Achievement Award, Nelson made headlines, not for what he said, but for what he wore. On his feet were not the usual polished dress shoes expected of such an occasion, but a pair of Luka Dončić's signature Jordan brand sneakers, the very shoes tied to the young superstar who had recently been traded. This was no fashion statement or mere coincidence. Nelson was making a bold, visible stand against the Mavericks' decision, using the symbolism of Dončić's shoes to speak volumes. "I want everyone to know I'm wearing Luka's shoes, his new Nike shoes that just hit the market," Nelson said with unmistakable conviction. "I'm wearing them in protest of the trade from Dallas. A tremendous mistake by the Dallas franchise to trade him. And I want everyone to know that." It was a heartfelt declaration, and from a man with decades of basketball wisdom and deep ties to the Mavericks organization, it carried enormous weight. Don Nelson isn't just any former coach. He's an NBA coaching pioneer and a Hall of Famer who coached some of the game's all-time greats and helped build the Mavericks into a respected franchise. His son, Donnie Nelson, was also an influential figure within Dallas's front office for many years, which only makes his stance more poignant. The Luka Dončić trade remains one of the most talked about moves of the year. The 25-year-old Slovenian prodigy, a transcendent talent and face of the Mavericks since he was drafted in 2018, had become the living embodiment of Dallas basketball hopes and dreams. His jaw-dropping performances, clutch moments, and undeniable charisma made him a generational player, someone rare and precious in the NBA landscape. Trading him for Anthony Davis, another superstar, but one who carries injury concerns and fits a very different style, felt to many like Dallas gambling their future on a high-risk, high-reward scenario. Mavericks fans erupted with anger and frustration when the trade was announced. Social media was flooded with pleas, rants, and calls for the franchise to reconsider. Yet the Mavericks have tried to soften the blow. Winning the NBA draft lottery and securing the #1 overall pick, widely expected to be used on highly touted prospect Cooper Flagg, offered a glimmer of hope. But for purists like Nelson, hope for the future does not erase the pain of losing a once-in-a-generation talent today. At the heart of Nelson's protest lies a philosophy forged by the legendary Boston Celtics coach and executive, Red Auerbach, whose influence shaped Nelson's views on building a franchise around a generational player. Auerbach's mantra was simple. When you have a transcendent talent, the likes of Bill Russell, John Havlicek, or Sam Jones, you never trade that player. You build around him, cherish him, and honor him for a lifetime. His philosophy was, when you have a great player, Bill Russell, Havlicek, Sam Jones, you name him, you don't lose that player, Nelson said. You keep him for a lifetime. You put his number up in the rafters. You honor that player. That's been my philosophy. For Nelson, this is not just about basketball strategy. It's about legacy, loyalty, and respect for the game's rarest gifts. Luka Dončić is exactly that kind of player. A once-in-a-generation talent who deserves to be the cornerstone, not the chips traded away in pursuit of a different dream. The symbolism of Nelson's footwear at the NBA Finals sent a message loud and clear to the Mavericks organization, the NBA, and basketball fans everywhere. Some mistakes are too big to ignore, and trading Luka Dončić might just be one of them. As the 2025 NBA Finals continue to captivate audiences, with stars clashing on the biggest stage, Don Nelson's quiet but potent protest reminds us that basketball isn't just about trades and transactions. It's about honoring greatness and the emotional bonds that define franchises and cities. Whether the Mavericks' gamble on Anthony Davis pays off or not, Nelson's gesture will be remembered as a testament to the power of loyalty and the profound respect the basketball world holds for Luka Doncic's transcendent talent.